People are losing their minds out there. I simply went out to a peaceful protest to show some solidarity. Then not only were the cops charging, but the other protesters started chasing me too. No idea why I was singled out. I don't have any food. I have no money. What are we gonna do, Donnie? Yeah, I have thought about selling my body, but I don't think even you can afford me. That's filthy and horrifying. No wonder we get along so well. I guess I'll finally have to get a job. That shouldn't be an issue, though. When I was hanging out at the abortion clinic a few months ago, everyone kept telling me how great the economy was doing. Thanks to you. So I'm sure the job market is thriving, and absolutely nobody is desperately clawing for... You're a very silly man. Well, I'm still not too worried. I'll just have to make extra sure my resume stands out. Now, everybody knows fudging on a resume is a given, but there are certain things I shouldn't lie about. Obviously, I shouldn't lie about my contact information, because then how the fuck are they gonna contact me? I also shouldn't fabricate my criminal history, unless I know a guy, which I do. I'm the guy. One thing I can and arguably should lie about, though, is my name. These employers sift through the same Janes and Johns daily, and a name needs to be more than just a name. It needs to be a headline, something that stands out and screams right in their faces, here's a potential employee who's already making me moist. Something very strong and masculine, like, you better hire me or your fam's dead. It's flashy and powerful. Saved. Next up, work experience. Now, the only job I've partaken in recently involved a pad of sandpaper, my right hand, and several horrified onlookers. But I have in fact been legitimately employed before. Well, it's definitely nothing any other desperate, degenerate, and crippling debt couldn't have done. The key to any great resume is talking up experience. I've got to blow more smoke up their asses than a Californian wildfire. For example, my first job was as a dishwasher. I touched spit for 8 hours a day. So obviously on the resume we put Executive Ceramic and Glass Coordinator. Summary: oversaw daily implementation of priceless dining wares at high-end eatery. It was a crepe cafe next to a park full of homeless people. Accomplishments: proved it takes exactly 3 whacks from a large-sized dinner plate to crush a man's skull. After that, while dodging the draft in Canada, I went door to door getting sign-ups for lawn care estimates in the middle of the freezing Canadian winter. That's not a joke either. This was a job I actually had. Professional persuasion personnel. Manipulated old folks in the legal yet relentless phone solicitation. Realized strangers need only 5 seconds of FaceTime to pinpoint something horribly off with me. Lastly, when I moved to Vegas, I took a serving job at a local gambling pub. After the last job, I wanted to try customer service to see how well I could hide my misanthropy. Specifically in an environment that would make even Mahatma Gandhi want to commit a national tragedy. Armed service member. I mean, I provided a service. I do have a member, and I was definitely armed the whole time. Totally not a criminal offense to word it like that. Provided the depressed patrons with a dining experience I'll never forget, no matter what amount of booze, pills, or therapy they used to try. Control over the urge to barricade doors and set building on fire. And that basically sums up the slavery. I think 3 jobs in 15 years that lasted less than a week each shows a very well-rounded work ethic. Education? The streets, motherfucker. And Harvard. They don't follow up on this shit. Skills. 57. Next up, and about me. A brief summarization of the traits and qualities I want my employer to know. I'm a Scorpio, 6 foot tall, 10 inches long, black and turd brown eyes. I like long stalks through the park and white trash watching at Walmart. I'm generally hetero, but I'll rub up against anything with a tight enough orifice. I'm a queen and expected to be treated as such. Also, if the salary isn't at least 6 digits, you can kiss my flat, pasty ass. In order to back up everything I bullshitted in the resume, I'll need some reliable references. Now, it's usually common practice to use a former manager or supervisor you threatened as a proper starting point. But the best possible reference I should utilize is me. Because who else but myself can I trust to vouch for myself? In a world full of selfish pigs looking to screw me at every goddamn turn. As long as it gives them an extra suckle on that monetary teat. Finally, something optional yet controversial. A picture of myself to top it all off. Some people find it tacky and unnecessary, but those people are fools and just use bland headshots of themselves. The picture will be the first visual impression I make, and therefore needs to encompass the essence of who I am and what I'm all about. It's just a matter of finding the right one. Perfect. And do not forget, placement is key. Oh, I definitely hire me. Let's squirt this mother out into the workforce uterus. Keeping in mind that when applying, I shouldn't just focus on what I want to do and how much I want to get paid. I need to consider what my experience and aptitudes can bring to the job, as well as what that job can ultimately bring to me. There. I've applied to every single job in the greater Las Vegas area posted within the last 30 days. Now to just sit back and patiently wait for the phone interviews. You motherfuckers! Why? Why won't they call? You need me. You fucking need me! I might be going about this the wrong way. I've managed to not hang myself for almost 3 decades, so perhaps it's time I stop wallowing in general labor hell and find an actual career. But a career is more than just a job. It's ultimately what a person puts out into the world, and should therefore be an extension of the person themselves. So what sort of person am I? Well, I'm manipulative, overly sensitive, quick to judge, stubborn, paranoid, unwilling to admit to my own faults or mistakes. I have a huge superiority complex, expect authoritative respect without it being earned. Bullying the weak gives me quite the chubby. I'm prone to unpredictable fits of blinding rage. Human life is completely disposable to me, and I view the general populace as nothing more than a means to an end.
A police officer shooting a black man multiple times. It was caught on camera, and it has sparked anger overnight. Hundreds of protesters converging at the scene.
The search for answers after a white police officer shot and killed a black woman in her own home.
Within moments, he fires one deadly shot through the window. Just seconds after approaching the vehicle, rookie officer Thomas Lane pulls his gun and points it at a noticeably startled.
You can see one officer drawing his gun, and moments later, shots fired. An officer then removes something from Sterling's pocket. Sterling dying at the scene.
73-year-old grandfather suffering from dementia was shot and killed by police during a late-night walk.
Grand jury decided not to indict 3 police officers in the shooting death of Breonna
justified
Taylor. The
in the return of
26-year-old
deadly fire.
Philip Brailsford not guilty.
Justice!
He's found innocent on all counts.
I'm going to be a teacher. Wait, everything's remote now. That means I can't whack their little fingers with a ruler. Or seduce their moms. And dads. I guess I'll just be a cop. That'll make my Photoshop penis seem even bigger. I'm gonna head out right now to join the academy. They remembered me. Also, I guess they try to avoid hiring unhinged psychopaths. Who would have thought? So it looks like I'm collecting unemployment with a dead man's identity.
Where it gave you a disincentive to work. It was an incentive not to go to work. You'd make more money if you don't go to work. That's not what the country's all about. And people didn't want that. They wanted to go to work, but it didn't make sense because they make more money if they didn't. We want to create a tremendous incentive for people to want to go back to work, to work, to work, to work, to work.